Welcome to a updated tutorial video on how to integrate the automatic update tool in your projects in Visual Studio. So right here we've developed an application. It's an alarm clock. Well, not an alarm clock, it's just a clock. It doesn't do anything special except, well, tell the time. It's 8:42 p.m. All right. So first things first, go to www.softupdates.com and download the automatic update tool. And while you're there, make sure you go ahead and grab a key. So you're going to be greeted with this installer. Go ahead and do the install. Agree to the terms. Alright, good to go. If you would like to check out the change log, go ahead and do so, or go ahead and check out our website, www.softupdates.com. Okay, here's the new tool. It's a new version. Alright, one of the new things, if you click on the help, go to copy.dll files. What this is going to do is it's going to create a local copy for you to be able to easily find. I'm going to choose the desktop for this. Then I'm going to go ahead and close the tool out because that's all I need for right now. You'll see these two new DLL files that we've just copied. We're going to use those in our Visual Studio project, and I'm going to show you how right now. First, we're going to go and we're going to add some references. We're going to go to Browse, and then we're going to go to where we just copied those DLL files, which in this case is going to be my desktop. I'm going to select those two files and click Add. What you're adding is the grit web client.dll and the app updater.dll. Click OK, and then it's going to go ahead and add. Now let's view our code, create a using statement, using app updater. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to want to create a new instance of this app updater GUI, since we're going to be using the GUI and it's already laid out for us. Subscribe to the event for when it checks for updates, and then if it finds an update, display that box. So let's go ahead and code that up right now. Updater GUI, and we'll call this one GUI. And you have to supply an API key that you get from www.soft-updates.com. For this example, I'm going to use test key. It was provided for me specifically for this video from www.softupdates.com. Now about these options, you have different version types that you can use. We're going to pass the file version type instead of the assembly file type. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you go to your program's properties and then you click on your assembly information, you're going to see the assembly information and the file version. Now it's up to you which one you use. Just make sure that whatever you do, it is consistent. In this case, I'm using the file version. Alright, so this is version 1.0 of this awesome app, which is just a clock. Alright, so now that I've created this GUI instance for the updater GUI and passed it the API key that was provided by www.softupdates.com and told it that we want to use a version type of file version, we can go ahead and subscribe to that event right now. Alright, so for the GUI onChecked update, what we want to do is say if there's an update to go ahead and display a box. Otherwise, we're already up to date, so we don't have to go ahead and load that up. So if we have an update, then go ahead and show the GUI. That's simple. Alright. Next, we're going to go ahead and build the solution, rebuild it all, make sure we got a current version. And now we're going to, after it's succeeded, we're going to go ahead and we're going to load up the automatic update tool. So now let's go ahead and create an update for, or an installer for this project. Since it's the very first time we are doing this, we don't need to post an update. It's the very first version. We're going to auto increment, and we're going to change the output directory of where we want this first installer for us to distribute to our clients, where we want it to go. I just chose the desktop. Okay, so for this app name, I'm just going to call it Awesome App, and then you know, company name. Do you want to include an icon? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, this is version 1. Change log. We're just going to say this is the first version. And here, when you select where you want them to, what files to install on the client machine. So I'm going to go and go down to the Visual Studio folder. Documents. Yours may be in a totally different location. So I'm just going to check the binary folder, and you see these files. Now you can deselect files that you do not want to copy over and install. For this example, we only need the main executable and the reference DLL files. We don't need the config file. Then we're going to select the app's main entry point, which in this case is going to be awesomeapp.exe, where we would like to install this application. Program files is fine. If you would like to create a file association, in this case we are going to make sure that we have save local copy selected, since this is a first version, not an update. Change the installer look if you wish. We're just going to leave this one vanilla as is. Include your URL. If you had, let's say, awesomeapp.com, you could just type that in right there, and it would go to your website when you click on it. Then you're just going to go ahead and hit publish. Okay, all done. Okay, now you've successfully created an installer. Now we're going to go ahead and close this down, check the installer, and then I'm going to see you in the next video for part 2 on how to create an update. This video is creating the installer. The next video is creating all the successful the succession updates. So click next. Let's install this awesome app. Check out the release notes, first version, launch. Let's just make sure that this awesome app works, and it does. It does work. So let's go ahead and shut this down, and I'll see you in the next